Okay, this is our Draoi grain bill. This is our Draoi's grain bill. See the caramel malts? They're not caramel, the crystal malts. And me Irish lads from Ireland helped me name this beer in Gaelic. I work with the Irish. You know, in many ways, I did a collaboration with the Irish to name this beer, and for my special coming up with it. This is a classic. This is a classic Irish red beer, and I'm brewing it right now. The water profile is a classic malt forward water profile. This has a 5.3 pH. At any rate, this is just the mash. We'll check in here later with more info with my little brewing system here. And I got a new brewing system being built right now, stainless steel. I get a lot of good things coming. Just wanted to show, I'm always trying to show what I'm doing here. Okay, I will be back when the boil comes. Look how beautiful this looks. In my boiler, this is an Irish red. Irish red, color will change. This is straight out the mash tun. This is, the mash temperature was 153 degrees. Sparge water will be at 156. I just had to show this. This is beautiful, sweet wort, sweet wort. So, you know, my equipment's getting very old, but my next cooking with the Guapo will be with stainless steel here shortly, and then I have an upgrade coming to my equipment, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of good things coming. I just had to show this. Had to show the art Draoi. Look how beautiful that looks. The color's gonna change. It's about 16 SRM. Looking good. Welcome to Cooking with the Guapo, my St. Patrick's Day special. I got something really fabulously planned for you. I did a lot of consulting with the Irish lads, the lads in Ireland. I work a lot with the Irish. What I did last night is I brewed an Irish red ale. And it's a traditional beer. I could go on and on about that beer and all the characteristics of it and everything. I'll get into that a little later. So we have an Irish red ale, and then I was asking the lads in Ireland, what could I do that's authentic Irish? Because I know it's a lot different here than over there across the pond. So we come up with I guess it's a no-brainer, an Irish stew. An Irish stew. So we're gonna pair it with an Irish stew with lamb meat. And get an Irish red paired with that for St. Patrick's Day. Let's see what we got here. Get some beers in here. if you wanna, I'm actually building a Pico brewery here. I'm not done yet, but this is my community fridge. This is my stainless steel fermenter. So I'm gonna build a little Pico brewery here because I do a lot of cooking with the Guapos, and I'll have a controller and some different things. Martin gave me this. I love that guy. I give him beers, he gives me, and he's always giving me beers I never had. This is a Mexican cerveza here, chalupa. It's called chalupa. This is what I'm gonna be drinking right now. Golden ale. It says golden ale. Alright, so I'm just gonna drink this out the bottle. That's not bad. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna build this little thing here. I'm gonna get this really nice. I'm gonna convert this into I haven't decided yet. I might get another one and make it another one of these into a cold room. My cold room back there I've had since day one. I've always had it. A lot of people don't know that, but I built my own little Jimmy rig cold room back there that I use for fermentations, especially in the summer. So I might have another one just to convert this into a cold room, and I might just keep this as a cold crashing or just for a fridge. I haven't quite got it all worked out yet. Okay, so that's what we got for the cooking with El Guapo. Last night I was brewing for a long time after midnight, and I took snippets of the whole process and everything, so you could see little things here and there, the process that I do. And I got 2 open boilers, and in the boilers, it's kind of indescribable for me. It's one of the greatest parts of brewing because of the open boil. You can see the boil, and as you're taking your hands and putting the hops in there, there's so many intrinsic values that are far greater than. That's why so many people love homebrewing, because you're intimate with it. So when you have this big mechanized machinery of automation with brewing, it kind of takes the soul out of brewing. And in this place has a lot of soul, a lot of soul. It's been a long evolution of small incremental improvements, and I'm going to keep improving and keep getting new equipment and keep making these small incremental gains to make a world-class beer. One of the things that I had to, that I learned early on about chilling the beer, because I don't have the equipment that others have, at least not yet, is that I adopted the Australian no-chill method with a slight improvement. So the Australian no-chill method, when I went to that method, my beers got better. They did. I know there's, it goes against convention to where, you have these glycol chillers that cool it in a matter of seconds, and then that's the conventional wisdom. It's what, all the breweries do, except for like Australia and Sun Brewing. So when I do that, it really made the beers better, and it didn't make them bad in any way. You seal it, and all the heat from the boil totally kills all bacteria. Kills all bacteria. And one of my personal philosophies is less variables, the better. So the less variables you have, the better it is for brewing. So if you got this huge 4-vessel system, which traditionally is considered the Ferrari of brewing systems, I'm thinking maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's a 1-vessel system. The most popular in the whole world, especially in the United States, is a 2-vessel system. This 1 vessel here, this 1 vessel here with the big steps in the middle. That's the most popular in the whole country. So I'm of the opinion the less variables, the better.
That's why that brewing system, the Biach, however you say it, the Biach system, I think is ideal for the best brewing process that you can have within a given certain constraints. So because of this philosophy that I've adopted, putting in a wort chiller or doing all these different ways to chill it, you know, I'm of the opinion that anything that you can do to not put another variable into the wort would be better. Less hosing, because more hoses, I mean, if you got this big, huge, colossal system, I mean, that would be more of a monstrosity to clean with hoses, pipes, whatever. So the less variables, that's logic to me. Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fabulous Cooking with a Guapo St. Patrick's Day special Irish stew, Irish red ale. I can't wait to do it. All right, so I'm gonna go to the cold room and show you my Australian no-chill method. Okay, this is my homemade little cold room that I made when I very first opened the business. It's still working. So this is CoolBot. You just take an AC unit from a Home Depot or wherever, Lowe's, and plug up CoolBot to it. Gets it to refrigerated air. It has a remote control and everything. So this is the Australian no-chill method with a cold room. So a slight improvement to where, say last night it was around 1 o'clock in the morning. It was so hot inside the fermenter, all bacteria was completely killed. It was already sterile anyway. So that's it. Put it in here. Let my cold room take over. It says right now 63 degrees. So and I can adjust it to say 66 degrees, or I've seen it go down to 39 degrees. So this is it. Australian no chill with the cold room. The next day I come here, the wort is whatever I set it to be. If I set it at 60 degrees, it's 60 degrees. If I set it at 66, it's 66. So this is how I chill the beer, and this is where it ferments. Thank you. Okay, I got this new fermenter here. I love it so much. You can see this thermal well assembly here. I'll put a little thermostat on here. I'm just sanitizing it right now. This is my racking cane assembly. There's a racking cane in there, and then that's my dump valve. So I'm just sanitizing some equipment here. Every angle. Look at that. Every single angle here. I'm just gonna brew a small little 5-gallon batch here. I use Star San to sanitize it right now. So let me see here. It's a little, can't see the inside right now. Just see if I could get up in here. It's just too foamy. I'll show the inside of it a little later, but I just love that. I just can't tell you how much I love that fermenter. Got it from El Paso Brewing Supplies here locally. Okay, just wanted to show that because I'm building this little Pico brewery here. I'm gonna build it little by little here in my tasting room over here. I might make this into a cold room. I'm gonna make a cold room out here and everything too. Okay, just wanted to show this little snippet. Saturday, just having a little fun here. All right. Okay, here's the rolling boil of my my batch of beer. This is a Tepache. I made Tepache since the first day in business, and even before that. This particular Tepache is a Tepache Tamarindo. Tepache Tamarindo in Naranja. So that's the particular Tepache I got going on right now. And I've made the Tepache, I've made Tepache Tamarindo, and then Tepache Tamarindo Naranja. So I'm just always making different variations, always have. So I've got to put some hops in here. So without further ado, this is a Tenem. It's perfect for Tepache. I like to use my hands. This is Tepache beer. Hops, there they go. There's the hops. Hops. There we go. As a brewer, it just doesn't get better than this because you get to see and feel the boil. There's nothing better than that. Okay, I brewed last night, then I come in today, Australian no chill method with a little caveat, little improvement is that I got a refrigerator. So ambient temperature is about 60. And then you have the actual temperature at 71.4. It's about time to pitch the yeast. So that's where we are. Okay, see you in the next segment. Okay, welcome to the next segment of Cooking with a Guapo. I forget what episode, it's like episode 21-ish, 21 I think. This is my St. Patrick's Day special. So I did a lot of collaboration for this particular special. To the beer, to the name of the beer, Draoi, it's spelled in Gaelic. And in Ireland, I learned so much about Ireland because I worked with these guys, these fellas, for years with this, my most recent job, and I learned a lot. Like I learned that, this is gonna be hard to believe, they don't have a dish of corned beef and cabbage in Ireland. According to the lads in Donegal, they don't have corned beef and cabbage. That's not an Irish dish. It must have morphed into an American Irish dish or something like that. But they don't do it. So this beer is an Irish red. It still has a little maturing to do. It's good enough for me. Caramel toffee notes. It's a classic Irish red, classic recipe. The name of the beer, Draoi, in Ireland, they grow up learning English and Gaelic. So this is spelled in Gaelic with the help of my friend Johnny. Cheers, Johnny, over there across the pond. Okay, Ard, A-R-D, another word of Draoi, if I pronounce that right. D-R-A-O-I with a hyphen over it, just like in Spanish. For seed, same hyphen. Irish red ale. Okay, so the same, but I collaborated with the same thing with the special food pairing, which is Irish stew. The classic Irish stew is made with lamb, in whatever fashion. This is lamb loin. This is Irish red beer. These are Dutch yellow potatoes and beer. And then carrots and onions. They really believe the simpler the recipe, the better. Some of them really only like potatoes and onions and nothing else. But some of them are okay with carrots, and then if I can do carrots, a lot of them do the carrots and the pearl barley. So this is pearl barley. So it's a real simple recipe of bay leaves. Keep it simple. So what I'm gonna do now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the pot, and there's beer in there too, with the potatoes, all beer, and then I'm gonna start boiling it. And then later on, just a little bit later, I'm gonna cut up these carrots, cut up this yellow onion, put it in there too, with some bay leaves. And then the very last thing I'll do is I'll put in the pearl barley. And then in about an hour, no more than an hour and a half, I'll just keep testing it and testing it until you kind of test it to your taste, to your liking, how tender you want it. And some people will put thyme in there, but that's it. And then we'll see you. We got a very special guest from Austin. It's very rare that we get a guest. This guy's a culinary teacher in Austin. So thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
He was schooling me up on the sciences and the arts of the...
Great beer, too.
So thanks for doing it. And tell them in Austin that we're growing a scene here, so we can... I'll go there, they'll come here. So thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next segment when I got it all cooking and boiling and stuff like that. Oh, wait. We got one little last thing to show you. It's over here. I was gonna forget. There's something I learned, and I just learned it because I never done this before. I was going to change this with fridge, the circuitry, to be a cold room where you have a remote to adjust the temperature. But I learned something valuable with this setup. This is the Australian no-chill method, like I've been saying with my other beer that I've been making. So this was a sanitized stainless steel fermenter, and then I put the wort in there at 200-something degrees, which would clearly kill any bacteria. I mean, just with the steam in it. So I put this on the highest channel setting of 7. I come in the next day and it's around 70 degrees, 71 degrees. And then at that point is where I like to pitch the yeast because it's a little bit of a warmer temperature. So then once I pitch the yeast, then I turn it down to the setting 1. And then it starts to stabilize and it starts to get about the temperature you want it. This settled at about 66 degrees. Then I turned it on 0. It took the next day, kind of 6 to 8 hours to stabilize to a certain temperature. But this acts like a mash tun. So when it hits 66 degrees, you close it, and the temperature holds just like a home brewing mash tun. So I don't need to change the circuitry. That works. It works for me, and it's in the temperature range, so that's good. So it's already fermented, and now I'm cold crashing it. The temperature in there is about 44 degrees. So I'm cold crashing it now, and then I'll keg it later. Okay, thank you. See you in the next segment. Okay. Believe it or not, this is the boil. It's all beer. It's really just foam here. Let me turn it down. Just had a hot break there. All the lamb and potatoes is in there.
Sounds exhausting. All right, noted. Well, let's do some GNR, and then we have a couple more questions with Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach.
The aroma on that is just crazy. That is all our Draoi. I'll add some water to this in just a second. Kind of even it out a little bit when I add the onions and carrots. Okay, be right back. Okay, it's still all beer. It's been boiling a little while, but here it goes. Onions, carrots, bay leaves. There you go. See a little lamb. I'm gonna thin this out, but all the beer in there is just soaking in there, giving a lot of flavor. Put some water here in there a little bit later. But before I do, I wanted these 3 big pieces of carrots in here. Those big ones. I just wanted to do that. Okay. On with the next segment. I'll be right back. Okay.
Here I am. Watered it down a little bit so it's not 100% beer. But what can I say? That's the way I like it. I'm about to pour the pearl barley in there. And I'm not a chef, so I don't measure. Everything I do is just off feel and touch. I've been doing it my whole life. And that's just the way I operate. I just kind of go with what I feel. So without further ado, I'm about to pour the pearl barley. Oh, wrong way. Okay, here I go. There we go. Alright, so got the pearl barley in there. Got everything in there, it just needs to cook a little bit longer. And then we'll serve it up. Look at this boil. Would you look at this boil? That is something beautiful. You can see the pearl barley, the carrots, and everything in there. I can smell the lamb. I can smell the lamb, and I can smell the red beer. Irish red beer. I can smell it all. This is going to turn out just fantastic. Don't call me Mr. Fantastic, but this is fantastic. Okay, welcome back to the final product of my Cooking with Guapo, my St. Patrick's Day special. St. Patrick's is actually tomorrow. But I've been doing my thing here. If you look at this here, this is the final product. You got pearl barley, Dutch, yellow potatoes, carrots, lamb. You can smell the lamb. Little seasoning you can smell, but it's very slight. But what you can really smell is the beer, our Draoi. You can smell the beer and the lamb, the most dominant thing here. And this, I already ate a bowl of this. It's just phenomenal. It reminds me of the Guinness beef stew. Beer dominant, but it just totally complements and makes the stew. That's what this one is here. But this one here is the Irish red. And the lamb just has a unique flavor. It's unlike anything else. And this is such a simple recipe. What makes this so good is how simple it is. The potatoes, the carrots, the broth. The carrots are amazing. The carrots have to be. They were cooked in beer. And just a little bit of salt and pepper, onions. This is perfection right here. And then the pearl barley here. I mean, this is just to die for. These potatoes were cooked in beer forever. But they're not mushy or nothing, but it just gives it the right flavor. Got onions. I'm gonna eat all those right there. Okay. Okay. This is our Draoi. It's a fabulous tasting beer. That's what we got for this Cooking with a Guapo, the St. Patrick's Day special. I was very happy to collaborate with the Irish from Ireland, like the guys right now across the pond, to come up with this Irish stew and to name this Irish beer, to be able to do this. It's just a great story. There's so much history, so much culture, and the Irish just kind of, whenever you think of Irish, when I think of Irish, I think of the struggle, you know, like immigration, coming to a foreign land, fighting for rights, fighting for civil rights. The Irish are just so respected in the United States for the struggle and what they've been through. centuries ago back, and we're making progress. We're making progress. But it just reminds me of the struggles of today. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. That's why everybody in the United States loves the Irish. That's why there's Irish pubs in Juarez right now. I've been to them. The Irish are everywhere. Irish diaspora, whatever that was. There's more Irish in the United States than in Ireland, and they all think it's corned beef and cabbage. That's what's funny about it. That's kind of like it's kind of like the Taco Bell in America, right? Okay, so before I talk all night, this is the final product. This is what's going to be here tomorrow. This right here is my little Indian. There was an Indian artist that I got this from here. It makes me feel like the spirits are protecting Sun Brewing. It makes me feel something spiritual that Sun Brewing is protected. That's why I got it there. It's kind of look at it, I'm like, feel like there's something there. So thank you. Have a happy St. Patrick's. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and we're gonna have this tomorrow. Have a good one.